Welcome back to EVE Online, everyone. I'm Kplays Games, and today we have a classic. This is Angel Extravaganza level 4, and for many years, this was widely regarded as the gold standard of level 4 missions. This is before we had Dread Pirate Scarlet. It's quite a simplistic mission, really. There's 4 or 5 different pockets, and each pocket contains one small group of Angel Cartel ships, and when you destroy them, another group pops up. Then when you destroy them, another group pops up, and so on. So you never really get overwhelmed by hitting triggers. None of the ships hit that hard. There's quite a lot of bounty. In the olden days, the salvage and loot was the main draw because Angel Cartel drop a lot of alloyed tritanium bars, and they were worth about 450,000 each way back when. So that's why this was quite popular. There is one structure midway through the mission that you should always destroy, as it drops a random 3% implant. Sometimes it's worth a couple of thousand, sometimes it's worth 20 or 30 million. So we'll see what version we get this time. Okay, here we are at the inn gate. This is the first time we've actually had a mission against Angel Cartel. I'm very surprised to see one, because we are in a Mars base and they're native to Minmatar.
Warp drive active.
Oh, we've been fighting Grigoriy and Blood Raider and drones and mercenaries and everybody else, so it's nice to see this mission pop up. So we're actually getting a chance to use our Nova cruise missiles, which are explosive. And I've got explosive small and medium and sentry drones. I could have just stayed with the wardens because Angel Cartel's secondary weakness is kinetic, but I thought, nah, we'll just go the whole hog and get the bouncers. Nothing's that far away, but I don't think we're going to have to run. I think we just do what we usually do and just smash things to bits. I shall put my missiles on the big stuff and let the drones take care of everything else. Right. Our Angel Cartel information note is completely empty because we've never seen them before. So let's remedy that right now. We are being webbed, but we don't care because we're not moving. Drones were struggling a little bit with the tracking there, so we just put out the small ones and kill these frigates. Because the bouncer or the long range sentry drone, they might struggle to hit these guys because Angel Cartel usually use autocannons, so they like to approach really close. That's not an issue. I suppose I could have removed the curators and brought some explosive heavy drones for this, but we'll make do with the mediums. Our native explosive resist isn't very good, and they do a mix of kinetic and explosive, so our resistances are only 56 and 53 with the reactive on its maximum capability. But it's holding fine because there's only a small group of them. As always in missions, the NPC are flying ships that you can actually own and run. In this case, they're flying Macarials, and Macarials are absolutely god mode battleships for running level 4 missions. Let's have a look at the traits, if I can get the correct window. Here we go. Okay, it's a mix of Galenti and Minmatar skills. Yeah, 7.5% bonus to large projectile turret fall off per level, so that means that their autocannons can fire much further than they would usually. And 5% bonus to large projectile turret damage, and that's the key. And they also get a 25% bonus to large projectile turret rate of fire, and 25% bonus to warp speed and warp acceleration. So they're very fast. They have autocannons that can hit out to long range, and they hit like an absolute truck. They're superb. 8 high power slots, but only 7 of them can be turrets, but that's fine. You can put a utility in the other one. Yeah, 6 medium, 6 low. You can armor or shield it because they don't have any tanking traits. You can just pick whichever one you want. Right, I'm getting bored with using the Valkyries, so I'm just gonna micro jump drive. Don't really care which direction I'm pointing in. This is literally just to pull range so we can get the bouncers back out. We have trained that missile projection skill another level, so our missiles now go out to 120 and we're targeting to 118.59. So that's pretty nice. Means everything's hitting about the same. Our drone control range is 116 if I remember. Yeah, so target to 118, drones to 116, missiles right out to both of those ranges. Good stuff. Bouncer optimal range is only 43.2, but they have a huge fall off range, which is the same for all the Minotaur drones, which these are, because you can tell from the red background. Very much like autocannons. So although they have long range, they're slightly less accurate at long range than the Wardens are, because they have a shorter optimal. But they're still hitting fine because everything's approaching. Do we have war journals on this yet? No, we don't. 487. Okay, they're more expensive than anything we've seen. Yeah, you can see we could have kept with the Wardens and fired against their 52% resist, but I spent some money and bought some bouncers so we could fire the exact correct thing at them. Okay, now our resistances has shifted all the way up to 60% of explosives, so it's right up at 73. That's another reason why the tank went right back up. A, because of full range, and B, because the new spawn is firing only one type of damage at us. Which is weird, because it says it's 80 and 20. So strictly speaking, they should really be 55-ish and 5. But again, as it has in previous missions, it's decided it wants to lock onto 60 on a single damage type, and that's fine by me, keeps us going. I usually run this mission on my main character in a Machariel, and the entire mission lasts about 20 minutes. That's how powerful that ship is. Okay, that's the first room done. As you saw, it wasn't anything particularly deadly, it just takes a little while. Right, on to room 2.
Active.
Only about half the enemies have actually dropped things. I mean, some of the large wrecks are empty. And quite a lot of the large wrecks are empty. So the loot isn't spectacular. Okay, room 2, we spawn right on top of these guys. So I think I'll just go and snipe. Next time we come here, we might actually play around with the rapid heavy missile fit, and we'll get some Republic Fleet Berserkers, I think their heavy drones are called. And that means our DPS will go up and won't have to run away, and we'll have a much more fun experience. People used to farm this mission. And the way you do that is that you run the mission, but you do not go into the final room, or if you do go into the final room, you do not kill the boss of the mission. You then wait until downtime, because the daily downtime resets the missions. It repopulates all the previous rooms, and you come back and you run through it again. And then you do it again, the next day, and again, and again. People used to do that all the time because the salvage value of this mission was so high. You'd wait until you have access to lots of agents, and then whichever agent gave you this, you'd run it for a few days. Because the mission offer will eventually expire and you'll lose standings with the agent. but they would run it over the course of 4 or 5 days and then just move to another agent and carry on with more missions. Or if they were lucky, they'd get multiple agents offering them this mission, and they'd go and semi-clear it with one, then go to the next system, the next agent, and semi-clear it with another, and then wait until downtime and do it all over again the next day. There's not much point in doing that these days, because the salvage value of the alloyed titanium bars has fallen significantly. I was too busy killing things, I forgot to drag the destroyers into our little intelligence note. Whoops. Haven't seen any cruisers yet. Frigates, battle cruisers, battleships and destroyers, no cruisers. I know the capacitor is low, shut up. Just to stop the capacitor moaning at me, I'm just going to turn off the armor rep for a little while. Suppose that is the point of these warnings. Not that it was in danger of running out, it was just low and annoying. And I could have just changed the threshold, I might do that. Configure ship health alert settings. Let's put this down to 15 and hopefully... yeah, then it won't talk to us until it's way down here. It's for the benefit of my ears and yours. I think in this second room we see some elite cruisers. It's been a long time since I ran this mission. Tribune, Perfectus we have. War General we have. Warlord we don't. 543, yeah, he's the most expensive thing we've seen so far, so we'll kill the Warlord. It's just out of targeting range, oh well. Just the same as all the others, explosive and kinetic. Now the drone's out of range, really? Oh yeah, 43 plus 54 is only 90. Okay, let's put the range script in then. And they're still hitting because of the well, it's not just 1% rule, they're not just getting wrecks. That fall off plus optimal, your chance to hit is 50, and then it tails off towards optimal plus twice fall off. So that's why they were still hitting. And now they'll actually hit better. What did that do to the range? Yeah, 48 plus 66. 110. Lovely. That made all the difference. Oh, come on. Here it goes. There is an extra room at the end of this mission. Beyond the final room where you find the final boss, who's the mission completion trigger. If you have an Angel Diamond dog tag in your cargo, then you can access a special bonus room. It's extremely difficult. It has
an
awful lot of DPS in it. And the main rewards these days is just the bounty and loot and salvage you get from the things that are in the room. There's an awful lot of high value battleships. There used to be a very small chance of finding dead space or faction gear in there, but that's been removed a long time ago. At least nobody has reported finding any. Whether it was removed or not, I don't know. It's one thing I didn't record. I was helping out someone in the help chat. He was having trouble with the level 3 version of this. So I went along and I helped him, and because I was on my main character and I was flying a Tech 2 logistics healing cruiser, so I was able to keep him more than alive. So we actually did the bonus room in that, and he got a domination small shield booster, I think. It's worth about 60 million. I mean, I'd never seen anything drop in that room in all my 13 years of playing Eve. So I was tempted to buy an Angel Diamond tag and attempt the bonus room in this level 4 version of the mission, but then I remembered how much damage is in that room and I said no thank you. I'd rather just go and get another mission that I know I can complete easily than struggle in a room that could kill me. I believe there's some webbing towers or lots and lots of cruise missile towers in that bonus room, and that's things we don't want to play with. Okay, these guys have a lighter range, so let's just... We won't go straight back to the gate, we'll actually aim at the front of the gate, so when we micro jump drive, we actually... or the length of the gate away from these guys. Any web of fire. Web of fire was there? Yeah. An elite cruiser. Just a marauder. And a tribune, and a warlord. There aren't very many Angel Cartel ships, so the list won't be very long. Perfect. Really good. Right, out to the bouncers. Suppose I should lock something up, really. Might help. Having your targets locked helps you apply damage to them. Top tips from Cade. Back to my usual target management. Kill battle cruisers first because they're quite squishy and they deal quite a lot of damage. There's two good reasons for getting rid of them. Right, let's see how the drones cope with this guy. Let's put the tracking speed script in and turn this on. Angel Cartel ships tend to be shield tanked, so you'll see those shields will repair a little bit. I'm sure I've talked about this ship before. This is another ship that you can fly. It's called a Cinnabal, and just like the Macarial, it gets huge bonuses to autocannons and other projectile weapons. It's very, very fast. It gets bonuses to medium weapons because it's a cruiser. Used to see quite a lot of them when I was out exploring, because autocannons are really high tracking, and obviously because the ship has really high damage bonuses, it's really good at running combat sites. Chews up the ammunition though, but it's very, very good at running combat sites. Well, the bouncer certainly took care of that elite guy with high resistances without any trouble. I think he was just about within their optimal range. I bet the bouncers are all going to miss. Grazed, penetrate. No, they're doing okay. They're hitting. No, they missed. The ones that hit hard. That's fine, he's going down. So they can track quite close. Right, that's the second room done. We have dropped a bookmark, I just checked that. Reload the missiles as we approach the gate. Oh, more things dropped. Loot here, there's only 3 empty wrecks. Medium, and small. That's good. Large wrecks with loot is usually a good thing.
Warp drive active.
I think next time we do this, we definitely will do the rapid heavy and heavy drones fit, just to see what happens. Don't even know what kind of DPS that fit will get these days. I haven't checked it for a while. Right, this room is really, really easy. There are no additional spawns in this room. It's just one ship and a whole load of turrets. Luckily they're all like light missiles. There's 1 and 2 heavy missiles. If these were all cruise missile batteries, we would be in a not a happy place, let's just say. But because they are towers, they're stationary targets, so the drones should have no trouble hitting them. Yep, that's fine. We'll just chip away at this guy with their missiles and the drones will kill everything else. Drop a bookmark. No, shoot the turrets, not the ship. I'm killing the ship. Get rid of the heavy missile batteries first, I think. All these light missile batteries are just tickling us. They're just not a threat at all. Another really good level 4 mission I'm hoping to get is called Mordu's Headhunters. It's the Mordu's Legion, who are an ultra-nationalist offshoot of the Kaldari state. They do pretty much nothing but kinetic damage. They're very much like mercenaries in both their damage and the ships they fly, and the fact that every single one of them drops at least some kind of loot. And Mordu's Headhunter level 4 is 3 rooms that is absolutely chock full of enemies. There's literally about 50 ships in each room. So that is really, really lucrative, both from a bounty point of view and especially from a loot point of view. It's a superb mission. All the bouncers are all missing because he's sitting right on top of us, so I'll bring him back, put out the mediums, the Valkyries. And I'll just go and finish him off. Don't even have to approach the gate because we're sitting right on it. This next room is the one with the structure that we need to kill and drops the random 3% implant. Okay, bring the drones back. We'll wait for our missiles to start reloading before we take the gate. Here we go. And we're off.
Warp drive active.
3 rooms in. 25-ish minutes into the mission. We've got another 2 rooms to go. So we're not setting any records. Any bounty in yet? Yeah, 4.8. That's probably just from the first room. It's very easy to miss this building because it's not an overseer's structure, so it doesn't... Well, I've got my overview set up to show overseer structure, so it doesn't appear on that. Ooh, a new enemy. I guess Saint. 712,000. Web of Fire, Viper, Tribune, Perfectus, right. All things we've got before, as I said. The angel list is quite short. In this case, I think we'll get the drones to help us kill the battleships. Don't really care about the Web of Fire, so at least the Saint. We'll get the Saint down at least, and then we'll switch. So the next reinforcement group spawns right behind us here, and then another 2 are way up here. Now the structure you want to kill is this storage silo. It looks just like a regular structure. See here, there's a radio telescope here. There's an asteroid mining post here. You'll see like little bunkers and prisons and things like that in most other missions. Hardly any of them drop anything of note. But this one does. You saw just for a split second there the target painter E-War icon, and something was target painting us, and target painters make your signature radius this 30% larger. And this means that your ship appears larger on scopes. So in PvP, it makes you easier to target. In PvE and in PvP, of course, it does mean that missiles and turrets and everything can hit you easier because you appear to be larger than you actually are, so you take more damage. It's not as annoying as sensor dampening or ECM or energy neutralizing, but in large amounts it can quickly stack up. Or if there's lots of things firing at you and one thing target paints you, then they instantly all get better at hitting you. It does have an effect, it's just not as directly annoying as all the other races' E-War. I mean, it's turned off again, so whether it was the Saint that did it, and he's dead now, I do not know. They never seem to sustain it for very long. It's not like the blockade, because the Saint was by far the largest bounty of the first wave, and he didn't trigger the next spawn. Big mark. Bring these drones back. We'll put the bouncers out just to kill the silo, and then we'll bring them back and put the Valkyries out. Fingers crossed that when we come back in the Noctis, this storage silo cargo can has something really nice. Speaking of implants, I think the only ones we have in this character at the minute are still just the learning ones. Yeah, we don't have any skill-based ones, so we might look into that. After we hit this month's target of 1.4 billion for Omega, we'll see how much profit we're in, and whether or not we can buy some 3% implants to make our performance better. I totally neglected those for all this time. Of course, the trouble is, because for level 4 missions we're using a missile and drone ship, and for combat sites we're using a turret and drone ship, so missiles and turrets kind of clash. Because there are only 5 slots for implants, and obviously I think weapons use pretty much the same slot, so slot 6 is probably some missile stuff and some gunnery stuff, so we'll have choices to make. Or we could just be boring and do fitting ones like power grid and CPU and capacitor implants. They're pretty good because obviously that applies to any ship. Any ship you're in will be automatically better because of the presence of these in your head. There are implant sets.
A module has run out of charges,
Which I think we've talked of before. They are learning implants, they're +3s I think. Well, some of them are +3s, they come in low, medium and high, but they all have secondary effects. And they all synergize with each other. But the more of them, the more of the set you have, the better the whole set is. It's especially good for really high tier abyssal dead space running. I mean, not only is your ship worth about 5 billion-ish because of all the insane dead space modules it needs to stay alive, but you also need all these really expensive implants to make these things work even better. Again, Webifier, Viper, General, Commander, War General. We have all of these things already in the intelligence list. Well, the drones are going to get themselves killed by attacking frigates. Come back before they web you, you little idiots. And I think I'll put the bouncers out. think we'll just have the bouncers help us kill the 4 battleships and just ignore the web of fires until the next spawns way up here. Then I'll start shooting them. I'll put the lights out to kill the webs. These are not elite, even though they're webbing us. They don't warp jam us, so, and they don't aggress our drones. Should really, because they're frigates, and frigates are supposed to hate heavy and sentry drones. Well, if they want to ignore them, I'm quite happy with that. The War General's still yellow boxing us. Whether that's because he's not in range with his autocannons, or whether or not it's because he's trying to shoot at our drones. Whichever it is, he's not damaging our drones and he's not damaging us. They'll miss too much then. Just in case the mediums do get aggressed by the webs, I'm just going to kill the webs. This is another of what I call these false named NPCs. He's called Garan... Oops, clicked away. Garan Kesmonu, which might make you think he's elite or a commander, but he's not. He's just a bog standard Gister Caesar, because that's what you get when you drag him into the list. You find out he's just a normal Angel Cartel destroyer. And that's his empty wreck with nothing in it, because he's not a commander. Again, only about half of the ships in this pocket have dropped anything. Lots of empty large and mediums, which is just quite annoying. As I said, this mission is not difficult at all, it just takes a while. All these little tiny pockets of tiny little spawns of 5 or 6 ships at a time. More bounty 5.6. That's the end of the 4th room. 5th room is the final official one. We should get a little pop-up as soon as we land, saying this is the final room. Once you kill the commander, come back. He's not a commander, but he's another false named NPC. None of the other buildings, none of the other buildings in this entire mission drop anything, just that one silo. Oh, I don't think we have Tribunus, it's at 146. So it's a little bit more expensive than these, so info. For all the 5 rooms we've been in, we've seen 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 different enemy ship variations. That's it. There are Gurista and Serpentis Extravaganza. I don't think the Serpentis Extravaganza level 4 has a bonus room, but the Garista one does. But it's not as difficult as the bonus room which lies await through this gate. So I actually ran the Garista level 4 mission, again helping someone in English help chat. Took a Tech 2 cruiser on my main account up there to help him out. Just smashed everything to bits, so it didn't take very long. An awful lot of bounty in that mission though, it was about 35 or 40 million, which was nice. No, the bouncers are still managing to hit this thing even though it's at 7.5 kilometers. Right, little drones kill this thing because it's annoying me. I shall start working on all these guys. Primus we don't have yet. Are they 135? So they're the cheapest. No guys, come back. I want to put the bouncers out again. So these are the cheapest and therefore easiest to destroy battle cruisers we've seen so far. Haunter, 12.5. Again, they're quite cheap as well. Bouncer. Helps if you actually drag the icon and not the target, you idiot. Right. Primus, Tribune, Defacer, we don't have. 11,000. Defacer. There. Okay, we're actually populating our list a little bit more. Hooray! Oof, there he goes. It's by far the biggest spawn we've seen, but it was not particularly challenging. These little cheap ships that explode really quickly. Because they're battle cruisers, you do have to treat them with a little bit of respect, because if they do get into range, they will put the hurt on you. There we go. Right, I'll reload the missiles and start working on a battleship, and drones can kill the last 2 battle cruisers. How often this Gis Warlord has been missing me. That's quite funny. Okay, I think we'll put the mediums out. The bouncers are missing a little bit too often for my liking. Allegedly, he was shooting a torpedo at me. Not sure how, because Macariel don't have any missile bays. But then NPC do like to cheat. Yeah, Nova torpedo. Didn't see the big explosion that torpedoes make, but allegedly fired a torpedo at us. That's autocannons. Down he goes at long last. Right, let's bring these guys back in, get the bouncers back out. Saint Warlord, Webfire, Viper, have them all already. I shall start on the Warlords. And you guys will kill the white Webfires and Viper. Hey, finally got target painted by something. So it seems to be only the Saints that are target painting. And they don't do it for very long because it's turned off again. If we're going to use E-War, use it. Yeah, the drones are all missing too much again. Let's bring them back and put the mediums out. Definitely removing the curators next time and replacing them with some heavy berserkers. Would definitely speed things up. You can actually hear the low armor warning. Well, not low, but half armor warning. An hour and 5 rooms into the mission. Because it has been exactly an hour since we started. Still only, what, 12 minutes a room on average? It's not terribly slow. It's not terribly fast. No, if he's going to stay at that range, then he's going to get Bouncer in the face, isn't he? This is not the final boss. I think there's one more wave to come. I think it spawns way on the other side of this. The named Commander NPC and 2 spider drones, our old friends. Yeah, I think he made the mistake at orbiting us at 34 kilometers. That was his undoing. Yep, here he is. And there they are. They'll do their usual thing and approach at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Apparently he's 881, so let's see what this says he is. He's a Gist Malakin. And the bouncers managed to actually get some hits on the spider drone as it approached. That's hilarious. You kill them. I'll start work on him. Yeah, not a difficult mission. If you can run it quick, it's a really good earner. We're not running it quick. It's kind of on a par with Dread Pirate Scarlet, I would say. Dread Pirate Scarlet just has lots more bigger battleships. If you remember the final room from that, it had 3 or 4 reinforcement waves, and every single ship in the reinforcement waves was worth over 1 million. This is not like that. There's just more rooms. Drones come back and we'll put the bouncers out. We have never gotten as low as half armor in this mission. The bounty situation doing 6.2, 4.8 plus 6.2, it's 11 plus 5.6, it's not awful, 16. And I'm sure this is not the last bounty payment we'll get. I'm sure we'll get another one. Obviously the value of the loot and salvage, which I shall do in the Noctis and then report back upon. And there's always the lottery and dice roll of that silo and what is waiting for us inside that cargo canister. Okay, mission complete. Let's get out of here and get the Noctis.
Warp drive active.
Okay, back in here, the last of the bounty has come through. In total, we got about 19 million in bounty, plus another 2.3 from the agent pay, and our salvaging and loot totaled 18.1, so that's just about 39 or 40 million, I think, if I added it up correctly. That's not bad in just over an hour. The 3% implant we got was this one. It's worth 7.6 million-isk, and it provides a straight 3% bonus to the hull hit points. More a PvP thing than anything else, so we won't be plugging that in, so we'll just put it in the sale box. These are the things I was telling you about. These used to be about 420,000 ISK per unit, and now it's down to 89.9, and these were pretty much why that mission was so popular in the past. I mean, armor plates are still pretty good. Well, no, 37,000 a unit is not that good, is it? Oh, we got quite a lot of missiles, so we'll have them, thank you. No laser ammo, obviously, and all the rest of it gets melted down. Nice little haul of minerals there. So that was Angel Extravaganza level 4, which popped up very unexpectedly. I hope you come back for the next one, and maybe by then we'll be closer to our goal of having a sacrilege. Until that time, take very good care of yourselves, and I will see you later.